Kash Patel is facing a personal cyber breach after his private email account was compromised by a hacker group believed to be linked to Iran. The group, calling itself Handala Hack Team, has claimed responsibility and posted a message saying Patel will now find his name among the lists of successfully hacked victims. According to material reviewed by Reuters, the leak appears to contain a mix of personal photos, emails, and private documents pulled from Patel's account. That includes correspondence dating from 2010 to 2019, along with older business-related exchanges, travel-related communication, and one document believed to be his resume. Some of the images reportedly show Patel in informal private settings, including one with a cigar, another beside a vintage sports car, and others described as personal lifestyle photos. A Justice Department official has confirmed the breach and said some of the material circulating online appears authentic.
The director of the FBI is at the center of one of the most viral stories on the internet right now. A dance video, cigar photos, leaked emails, personal documents going back over a decade. All of it spreading across social media at a speed that outpaced the facts by miles. But here is what most of the people sharing this story do not know. The dance video is not Kash Patel. The cigar photos are real but years old. And the group behind the actual leak is a pro-Iranian hacking operation that the US government is now offering $10 million to identify. 3 different stories got tangled into one viral moment, and pulling them apart tells you something important. Not just about Kash Patel, but about how fast false information moves when a real story is underneath it.
I want to start with the Iran war, because we have seen that the Iranians have been targeting our satellites, our radars, our communications capabilities there. We've also seen reports that they are considering cyber strikes in the United States against our systems, and we saw that they hacked Stryker Medical earlier this month. That blocked some of the data, was completely deleted, and others was blocked. So, General Whiting, are you concerned about Iranian-backed hacker groups who could be targeting our satellites, cutting off our communications, trying to hack into our radar capabilities?
That exchange happened in a Senate hearing room. Senior military commanders being asked directly, on the record, whether Iran's cyber operations represent a genuine threat to American infrastructure. The answer was not reassuring. And now, the FBI director's personal account has been breached by the same category of group those generals were just asked about. That connection between the Senate hearing room and Kash Patel's leaked inbox is the thread that ties this entire story together. Stay with this, because what looks like a social media drama about a dance video is actually sitting on top of a much more serious story about digital warfare, institutional vulnerability, and what happens when real security threats collide with viral misinformation.
Concerned about cyber generically, as Admiral Carell mentioned, because it's the soft underbelly of our space enterprise. There are countries, not Iran, but countries like Russia and China, who have demonstrated they could attack us in space with ASAT weapons or co-orbital satellites. But they would rather attack us in cyber because it's cheaper for them and harder for us to attribute. So I believe the defenses that we have put in place for our cyber against those kind of threats are up to the challenge of an Iranian cyber attack, but it's not something that we ever rest on our laurels, and we have to be very vigilant to make sure that we understand what their intent is and what their capability is, and then modify our defenses accordingly.
Cheaper, harder to attribute, and the private sector has vulnerabilities that nation-states like Iran could actively exploit. That was a 4-star general speaking under oath in front of the United States Senate. And within days of that testimony, a pro-Iranian hacking group posted the FBI director's personal information online and dared Washington to respond. Now let's untangle exactly what happened. What is real, what is false, and why the combination of the two is more dangerous than either one alone. Here's the problem with how this story spread. 3 separate things happened in close proximity. They got merged into one viral narrative. And once that happened, almost nobody stopped to separate them back out. Story 1, the actual hack. Real. confirmed. A pro-Iranian cyber group called Handala claimed responsibility for breaching a personal account associated with Kash Patel, the current director of the FBI. The group released what it described as personal documents, emails, and photographs. The FBI acknowledged that groups like Handala have targeted U.S. officials. The U.S. government is currently offering a $10 million reward for information leading to the identification of Handala's members. Story 2. The leaked materials. Partially real, heavily misrepresented. Among the images that circulated were photographs of Patel in informal settings. One beside a vintage sports car, another showing him smoking a cigar. Documents related to travel and previous business activities also appeared online. Many of these materials appear to be years old, some dating back more than a decade. There is no confirmed evidence that any classified or sensitive government information was accessed or released. Story 3. The dance video. Completely false. An old clip of an Indian man dancing to a Bollywood song spread across social media, with people claiming it showed Kash Patel. It does not. The video dates back to 2022 and has no connection to Kash Patel, the hack, or the leaked emails whatsoever. Someone attached a false claim to an unrelated clip and released it into an information environment that was already primed to believe anything connected to this story. These three stories are not the same story, but they traveled together, and that is where the real damage happens. Start with what is confirmed, because underneath the viral noise, there is a real security incident worth taking seriously. Handala is a pro-Iranian and pro-Palestinian cyber group with a documented track record of attacks against US and Israeli targets. This is not a loosely organized group of anonymous hackers. This is a structured cyber operation with specific targets, specific objectives, and a pattern of behavior that U.S. intelligence officials have been tracking and warning about for months. Their recent activity includes a disruption attack against a medical technology company, the kind of attack that does not just steal data, but can interfere with operational systems that people's lives depend on. The Justice Department seized 4 of Handala's domains as part of an ongoing effort to disrupt their operations. Handala responded by registering a new domain on the same day and using it to breach the FBI director's personal account. That sequence, shutdown attempted, attack executed the same day, tells you this group operates with speed, capability, and a deliberate intent to send a message. Their public statement was explicit. They called the domain seizure a ridiculous show and said they decided to respond in a way that would be remembered forever. They then posted Patel's personal information, photos, documents, what appears to be his resume, including personal contact details, publicly online. And they specifically referenced the fact that Patel's name had appeared on the FBI headquarters building, saying it would now appear on a very different kind of list. Whether every claim Handala made about the scope of the breach is accurate, and the FBI stated that no government information was involved, the breach itself happened. The personal exposure happened, and the public messaging campaign attached to it was executed exactly as intended. The dance video is false. That point cannot be stated clearly enough. The clip that circulated showing a man dancing to a Bollywood track has nothing to do with Kash Patel. It is a 2022 video. It was not part of anything Handala released. It was not extracted from the hacked account. It has no verified connection to this story whatsoever. But the fact that it spread, and spread as fast as it did, tells you something important about how information environments work when a real story is underneath. When a genuine security incident occurs, and confirmed details are limited, the vacuum gets filled immediately. People search for the story, they find partial information, they find adjacent content, and in that environment, a video with a false caption attached to it can travel millions of views before a single fact check catches up to it. That dynamic is not accidental. Information operations, the kind that sophisticated cyber groups and their state sponsors run, depend on exactly this environment. You do not need to create the false content yourself. You just need to create enough genuine disruption that the false content creates itself around it. The internet does the rest. This is why responsible verification matters in moments like this. Not as an abstract principle, as a practical defense against a type of information warfare that is specifically designed to exploit the speed at which unverified content spreads. The cigar photos, the car photos, the travel documents. Some of those materials appear authentic, even if old and entirely personal in nature. The dance video is categorically different. It is fabricated attribution, and sharing it as if it is confirmed is not just inaccurate, it is participating unknowingly in exactly the kind of information spread that cyber operations are designed to trigger. Go back to that Senate hearing room, because the testimony there is directly relevant to what just happened with Kash Patel's account. Senior military commanders confirmed under oath that Iran's cyber operations represent a serious and escalating threat. They confirmed that Iranian-backed groups target both government systems and the private sector. They confirmed that cyber attacks are the preferred instrument of countries like Iran, precisely because they are cheaper than conventional military operations and harder to definitively attribute. And critically, Admiral Karel acknowledged directly that the private sector likely has vulnerabilities that Iran could exploit. Vulnerabilities that are harder to defend than classified government systems because the infrastructure is less hardened, the security protocols are less rigorous, and the targets are often individuals rather than institutions. A personal email account belonging to the FBI director is exactly that kind of target. It is not a classified government system, it is personal infrastructure. And personal infrastructure, however senior the individual, does not carry the same defensive architecture as the systems those officials use for official government business. That gap between official security and personal security is the specific vulnerability that Handala exploited. And the Senate hearing confirmed that U.S. military commanders are already aware that this category of attack is precisely where Iran is most likely to focus its efforts. Three things emerge clearly from this story when you pull the threads apart honestly. First, the hack is real and serious. A foreign-linked cyber group successfully breached the personal account of the director of the FBI and publicly posted his personal information as a deliberate act of provocation. That is a security failure that deserves serious scrutiny, regardless of whether classified material was involved. Second, the dance video is false and should not be shared. It has no connection to the hack, to Kash Patel, or to anything confirmed about this story. Sharing it contributes to exactly the kind of information environment that makes cyber operations more effective, not less. Third, the broader pattern matters more than the specific incident. Handala's attack on Kash Patel did not happen in isolation. It happened against the backdrop of ongoing Iranian cyber operations targeting U.S. infrastructure. A Senate hearing where military commanders warned about escalating threats, and a $10 million reward that tells you how seriously Washington is treating this group's capabilities. The dance video got the clicks, the cigar photos got the shares, but the real story is the one sitting underneath all of it. A foreign-linked operation that breached the FBI director's personal account, posted his information publicly, and walked away having demonstrated exactly what their generals testified they were worried about. Cheap, fast, hard to attribute, and designed to generate exactly the kind of viral noise that makes the actual story harder to see. And if you find this helpful, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell.